Oh, wait a minute. I got that.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle. And, man, this is going to be another first for the Boondoggle audience. Live in the Boondoggle Bunker.
Welcome to hell, ladies and gentlemen. Sheer pandemonium going in Wilhelm's castle.
Got Mr. Siki Spacek of the legendary band Black Death. Yeah.
A little teaser there for you, mates.
Yeah, so, we'd been talking about having you here for a while now, getting you on.
Stay flat.
It's been like years.
Yeah,
Years we've been trying to make this happen. And, you gave me the opportunity today. I'm like, I'll take it. Rearrange my schedule, my life, everything, but we're making it happen, man. And I'm glad we are. But usually when I have somebody on first time, I like to get a little background. So I'm going to take you back, all right?
Sure.
Take you back. Childhood. What did you originally want to be when you grew up?
Really?
Yeah.
A Greyhound bus driver or a rock guitar player, rock star.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
the Greyhound bus, because it was like a fantasy thing. It's like you're in a spaceship, you're driving a starship, right?
Yeah.
And they had that nifty little gray uniforms they had with the hat, the little matching Greyhound uniforms. I don't know what they wear today, but back in the day, in the 60s and the 70s, they had these little strange gray outfits, Matter of fact,
like Jackie Gleason and the Honeymooners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also sort of like the blokes that used to bring you your milk bottles in the morning.
Yeah. Sharp.
Yeah.
With
the little shiny brim on the fucking hat.
Yeah.
They had a uniform for everything back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Things were like...
Even the ice cream guy had a uniform.
Everything tried to be professional and classy back then.
Right,
what happened?
Right.
Little bow tie.
Right.
Yeah.
But things changed after I saw Elvis doing his comeback thing and he had the black leather outfit on and stuff. Because, see, I've had this image of a guitar has been in my head long before I ever seen one as a child. And then, because they used to try to describe what I was seeing, folks thought I was a little touched. But anyways, until I saw Elvis. That's what I'm talking about, And he had the black leather on, and yes, Elvis could play guitar. Just like, yes, Richard Pryor was playing lead guitar in that Black Death skit that he did on his comedy special.
Yeah. I saw that, and that was one of my questions I want to get into with you. But, what originally... so you just kind of shared the story. Elvis is what attracted you to music? Was there music in your house?
No, he didn't attract me to it. He was a point of reference. Okay. Something that I could explain to others.
So,
that was as far as the
guitar.
As far as the guitar.
Okay.
Because I used to pick up the broom and try to do the thing or anything like that.
I used to do the tennis racket, but you actually learned.
Yeah.
I got as far as the tennis racket.
Yeah. Now, what struck me about the Elvis thing was the image, the black, shiny leather.
Yeah. Okay.
And the guitar, and it was like, yes, that's how you should look if you're playing guitar. If you're the lead guitar player, you fucking worked for Johnny Cash, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The man in black.
But you know where
Elvis, he just didn't wear leather.
Where Elvis got that look from was from Jim Morrison. the black leather pants.
Jim Morrison was out when Elvis made his comeback.
In '68. That his comeback was in '68. Elvis's.
So we got our lifeline here,
Right, yeah.
Just in case,
I defer.
We didn't introduce you yet. You want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah,
to the
okay.
audience?
My name is Randy Roscoe, a.k.a. the Goth God, a.k.a. Vondrick.
Randy Roscoe! Goth God! Goth God! Goth God! Okay. Well, like Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Tough audience tonight. So, anyways, that image,
Yeah.
that look, okay, that's how. Okay, yeah, so I think from there, and then watching those 1950s, especially those biker movies and shit, from the back of the head and leathers, and they looked cool and shit, even though they were some evil, dirty son of a bitches.
Yeah.
Okay, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, screw the FAA. Okay, but anyways.
So I wanted to find. So Elvis kind of like led you to. That's what you wanted to do, the image wise,
right?
But like, when did like the metal?
The metal has always been in my head. The music has always been in my head. The music, as a matter of fact, one song in particular, Streetwalker, was in my head before I learned how to play guitar. And a few others and stuff that I have been able to tap to, but Streetwalker for sure. And because I used to walk down the streets, I used to get like some actors would do for inspiration and go do research, go in the areas where the roles they're trying to portray. I used to go on the host roles to see the nightlife, the chicks. And back then, chicks used to put on a show. They used to dress up. It used to look like Las Vegas. It used to look like the burlesque strip.
And this is Cleveland.
Yes, Cleveland.
Right.
And pretty much everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And then crack cocaine came and changed the game. Women started wearing sweatsuits. You didn't know what you were getting. It was like unwrapping it. Well, please let her have at least some fucking, ain't got no hair on her legs. Okay? You unwrap it, she got all that shit on. She got little skinny legs and shit.
Yeah. No penis.
Yeah,
Woo!
right.
Bonus.
That was the bonus. That's the first thing you check for. Because there's some pretty strange times that we live in, folks. Let me tell you and stuff. That's why I've retired. Fuck that. I'm not trying to guess. And I ain't trying to get in a relationship anyway. This is enough for me. Bibles, beers, and guitars.
Nice.
And a little kush on the side. Okay.
And then when did when did you pick up your first guitar?
Well, okay. But
and then
I'm going to go to that. That leads into that.
Yeah.
To finish your last question. How I found out what heavy metal was what I was hearing in my head. Okay. My friend Charlie Peterson, he's a retired deputy sheriff sergeant out there in San Diego.
Okay.
All right, Chuck. Semper Fi, brother.
Shout out Chuck.
Ex-Marine.
All right.
And he played the fucking Black Sabbath Master Realities album for me. And when I heard Children of the Grave, and I said, this is the shit I'm hearing in my head. This is because that guitar, that sound, that distorted sound, that, because I heard fucking Sabbath before I heard Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah.
And the only reason I don't play left-handed is because Jimi Hendrix played left-handed. Oh, well, Jimi Hendrix plays left-handed. Because I was always about trying to be different, to do different,
Be unique.
Yeah, right. Not walk with the crowd, right.
Yeah.
So he plays left-handed, so I wouldn't learn the traditional way. Because I don't want nobody to think, accuse me of being a copy. Okay, started learning tricks because I learned it playing with the hand. Then I would immediately practice playing behind my head, playing with my teeth. Oh, but Jimi Hendrix do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I invested too much in enamel, and as you can see, the sacrifice is real. Okay,
sacrifice for your art.
Right? Yeah. So I wasn't giving that up. I invested too much, and it was still flashy. But And I love Jimi Hendrix. Love him to death. He's a Sagittarian, November Sag.
Yeah.
December Sag is a bit more aggressive. But yeah. But anyways and stuff, love him much, love his music and stuff. But you know, he wasn't the only one that had ideas that what he's known and famous for.
Yeah,
I'm quite sure. It's like right now, there's some bloke sitting around somewhere. He could be in Liverpool, America, or Kentucky, England, and shit. You know? I was desperate. I was grasping at straws. But anyways, there's a guitar player down there who right now could blow Eddie Van Halen, Hendrix, whoever we think is the top shit. There's some motherfucker sitting back there in the cut who's not seeking fame and fortune. He's what I call one of those priest monk guitar players.
Yeah. He's up in his monastery.
Yeah.
Just happy.
Yeah.
He's got his serenity there.
Yeah. Like Shaolin Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Nice.
if you look at it, all of us guitar players, we're sort of like Ronin, samurais, wandering ninjas, you know. Instead of with a sword, we use our battle axes.
Nice.
And our fingers. Okay. And occasionally our teeth. But anyway.
So you picked up guitar, you're inspired, started learning guitar.
Mm-hmm.
When was was there bands like in your youth that you started with before Black Death, or was Black Death the first actual band?
Black Death was the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about how that came together? And
Sure. Because see, when I first tried to learn how to play guitar, it was in 1973, I believe it was. I got one of those mail order guitars out the comic books. They had a chick there in their fucking one-piece bathing suit that at the
Back
time
then,
was considered.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what the fuck is this, Grandma?
And then the next page was the guy, the bodybuilder, kicking sand.
Yeah.
In yeah.
And then the X-ray eyes.
Yeah.
And
Boy,
the Vampirella posters.
Yeah. That was the best part.
I have that.
Yeah.
I still have that.
So, anyways, I ordered one of the guitars. It came, and 3/4 size. I said, what the fuck that mean 3/4 size? The guitar was no bigger than that. This was the top of the head of the guitar. And this was the bottom was like that. It was like perfect for like a kid.
Yeah.
But I was in junior high school. And I was trying to play, you know, because I taught myself how to play by reading a book. I mean, what the hell? We go to school, they told us how to learn, read, math, reading the books. So why not?
Yeah, there was no YouTube tutorials and shit back then. Yeah, you had to learn the notes.
Right, and fuck paying somebody.
Yeah,
Because a friend of mine, matter of fact, he started out with me playing bass during the Prater. It's always been a problem with me finding a fucking bass player and keeping a fucking bass player. He switched over to guitar because he said, well, you getting all the attention. The fuck? I'm the front man. I'm supposed to. But anyways, he went to take guitar lessons up there at Cleveland Heights with that bloke from the California band, James Gang dude.
Okay.
Glenn Schwartz?
No, the guitar player. Rocky Mountain High. Yeah, Joe Walsh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, he's taking guitar lessons from me because he used to teach.
Oh, okay.
Up there at not Dick. Was that Dick Lurie's guitar studio? It was in Cleveland Heights, right on Sea.
Okay, all right.
Right, you get to lead.
Wow, that's nice. No.
And I'm watching, and I'm saying, dude, you paying this guy money for something you could do yourself.
Yeah.
You paying him because you ain't disciplined enough to take the book, read it yourself.
Yeah.
And then practice it.
And that makes you a better player because you got to learn the notes and read the notes anyway. You know, somebody could show you how to whatever, but if you don't get that ingrained in your head.
Yeah, well, to learn the basics and stuff.
Especially when you start writing your own.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Well, there's different ways of writing. Even with people like myself, I have a basic, somewhat rudimentary understanding of music. insofar as reading music.
Okay.
You know, you could put it in front of me, and I could see what it is, see what the notes are on each fret. I mean, staff or what have you, or space. And I'm not quite that good yet to like so many sharps or flats means this is what this chord or what this key is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys got together, you started forming Black Death.
Well, I formed Black Death. I got kicked out of high school.
Okay.
In 1977, from John Hay High School. They wanted to send me across town to Kennedy, anywhere but John Hay, because they said I was too much of an undue influence on the other students.
All right.
Okay. At the time I didn't understand what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah.
But what it was, the only thing I could see it could have been was the charisma factor.
Yeah.
Where people feel drawn to be around certain people. I mean,
you're distracting from the education. We got to do the indoctrination, and you're distracting us because you're a free spirit and thinking for yourself.
Well, yeah, I don't know. People like, because I had my own martial arts. It was a martial arts club at first. Then it turned into a martial arts gang.
Okay.
And it used to attract different types of elements in the school. The bad elements, the good elements, and those that floated somewhere in between.
So like Cobra Kai.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I understand the bad guys, I wanted nothing really to do with.
Yeah.
But when somebody come around, you're like, hey, gee whiz, golly, man, you're great. Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I used to carry my guitar around with me in school too.
Okay.
It's between 74, because when I got ready to graduate, 1974, out of junior high school, 9th grade. Then it was time. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. 3 more years, then I'll be out of school. Then what? Holy fuck. So a year later, the summer of 1974, that's when I went and picked the guitar back up and went to apply myself to it seriously. Because I put it down because the pain, you got to build up the callus.
Yeah.
And my fingers were like, I was like Quiet China Kane when he first tried to stick his hands in the bricks. And he was like,
Yeah.
Okay. So, 74. Now we move on along 1977. April it was back then. And because it was sort of like now the snow was receding, and then we had a few flush good 50, 60 degree days. And then I get kicked out. Me and my 5-inch heel platform shoes. Ain't that a bitch? They tell me this undue influence, like, I'm some mastermind running,
Yeah, Dr. Evil.
Yeah, right, yeah. Because I would try to go off and just hang off to myself, and slowly but surely, somebody, hey, what's up? Then somebody else see it, then, or they'll go tell, oh, he around over there. And then they say, big crowd. Because we always hung out second floor John Hay by the library. All right, so they kicked me out. Now, prior to them kicking me out, my friend Squeaky, who you could really say he's more responsible for Black Death happening than me, because he's the one that introduced me to Philip Bullitt and Greg Hicks.
Okay.
And Claiborne Pinkins and other guys. Okay. And another mutual friend of ours, brother, named Herbie Stewart. Okay, Hervey with a V. I said it, Hervey, Herb. Okay. So I don't want to hear shit on my fucking Facebook. All right. So he played bass and stuff. So I finally, every time I tried to get down there before I got kicked out of school, it was always, it gets changed. Just like you and I, we still trying to get to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit hops up. You know, like last week, we were supposed to do this. We were supposed to have been doing this last week. Sorry it took us so long, but I was injured. I was dealing with an injury with my knee. The swelling has gone down some.
Yeah.
There's still a little lingering twinges to let you know, careful how you move, motherfucker.
Yeah, oh,
I'm
yeah.
still here. Okay.
I feel you on that. Now,
So,
I mean, you talk about still waiting to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but from what I understand too, like, I mean, you guys are history making because aren't you like one of the original full African American metal bands?
yeah.
So
And
that
we
in
were the
itself
first, but not just that. We were the first heavy metal band in Cleveland and in Ohio, period. There were no heavy metal bands in 1977 in Cleveland.
Oh yeah?
Or Ohio, yeah. And I didn't even realize that. Well, actually, I did because that's what I was trying to sell Feeling them on and shit. You know, because I needed a band.
That's what I was going to ask too, because you got, Black Sabbath, Master of Reality got you and stuff like that. But then when you started getting with these other guys,
Squeaky.
like Squeaky and them, what was their musical taste, and did you have to sell them on Black Sabbath and everything?
Squeaky turned me on to Judas Priest.
Okay.
Because it's a song that they wrote, Dreamer Deceiver. There's songs, the same chord, similar pattern of a song I wrote called Have You Seen Her? Okay. And he sung in that high-pitched vocal style. Now, me at the time, I was still trying to find my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would try to sing, it would come out high-pitched. And I wasn't trying to sing that way.
Yeah.
I was trying to sing lower and shit, Because back then, there was no way in hell I could do Bon Scott like I can do now. As you lie there naked, like a body in a tube, suspended out of action.
Nice.
Yeah. Or you got your balls to the wall. Why you got your balls to the wall? The motherfucker should be in your pants.
Yeah, no
Okay.
shit.
But anyways, going back to that. So yes, we were. We came out on 77. There was another band in LA called Stone Vengeance. My bro Michael Coffey in the gang. They came out like a few months later in the same year.
Okay.
And then my brothers in Sound Barrier, I think they came out around 83-ish, 82. But they were the first all Hebrew band to fucking they get a major record label deal.
Okay.
Because see, that's what keeps Black Death out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or mention.
Record deal. Because
we weren't on a major label. And there's a lot of fucking...
So as far as everybody else concerned, you didn't,
Right.
Unless you're...
But thanks to my bro Randy right here. That's right, Randy. Golf God! Golf God! Golf God! Okay. Thanks to him, he hooked me up with a friend of ours and stuff who worked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. And he said he could do this. He can put our albums...
It's in the archives.
In the archives.
He's in charge of the archives.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, I would think too, like, I know there's some, like we were talking about Ed Willie earlier. They got his Uncle Scratch stuff.
But that's
in like
temporary.
A local thing.
That's a temporary.
And I think there's like Mushroomhead's got stuff in there. So I think
Mm-hmm.
Black Death should
they should
have some
they
like
really
sort of like local honor.
Oh, not even in the local exhibit they got it, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They got the Dead Boys and everybody else in there.
Yeah.
I think they would have had us in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll have to do something about that.
Yeah. And maybe this will be the beginning of our movement right here. We'll get rally the troops behind us for that.
And the flat earth falls right behind that conspiracy. I'll explain later.
But so you get Black Death together, you sell these guys on like, hey, this is the type of music, and they were down with it.
Right, but because understand this, when I first met them, they didn't play heavy metal. The heaviest rock they played was that John Lennon song, Holy Rollers, he got snot hanging out his got to be come together. That song, whatever the fuck it is.
Come together.
Yeah, come together.
Oh, well. Okay.
Well, like who?
And they were playing soul songs. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't playing metal.
Okay.
You know, and
had to learn
I
'em.
introduced them to it
Okay.
slowly but surely. Because, see, these guys, they were like, 10, 15 years old. They were fucking older than me.
Okay.
They were established with jobs, good jobs, fucking making 20, 30 bucks an hour. Field was RTA back in the day.
Yeah.
And Greg worked at Warner Swayze, and Daryl Harris, the bassist for the classic lineup, he worked at some company that did business with the finishing company I used to work at.
Okay.
Back in 80. But anyways, that's a digress. Squeaky turned me on to Judas Priest. I turned him on to Scorpions with Uli Roth.
Okay.
Squeaky turned me on to Hendrix. Squeaky was basically what this bloke and my brother is and shit, where they have the musical library and the archives.
Yeah.
And because I don't have time and I'm really not looking, because I was like, well, the only music I'm interested in here after a certain point, when you start making your own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you get out of the fanboy stage of playing your favorite band's songs on what you call it.
Yeah.
You know. So I had to like play my hand in a way where my father taught me about Machiavelli, the prince. He told me to read that. He had the book. He said, read this, okay? And see, so the way to get the power behind the throne, so to speak, or how to influence events, not manipulate, influence.
Okay.
I don't manipulate nobody. I influence them. Okay? Influence events to go in a certain direction.
Okay.
And at the same time, letting the people think it was their decision. Ultimately, it is, but like it was their idea.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. Right. I give a fuck less as long as it's whatever it takes to make it more palatable to get it done.
Yeah.
Because once we get in the midst of it, getting to doing it, the music gonna take care of everything else. You caught hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. So you get them in, you catch them. The band starts going. Who came up with the name?
I did.
Okay. What was the inspiration?
1977, because I had left in August 1977. I left the evening before Elvis died the next morning. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, he might have been on the toilet or on his way heading there when we hit Nashville.
Okay.
And that morning, because it was early in the morning because I think I left Cleveland like 11 or 12 or something and shit.
Okay.
Then I get to Birmingham, and then all this Elvis, the newspaper, and then it's all on, and he's dead. What the fuck? Mm. Okay. So I was like, could this be an omen, a sign? Yeah, and then I started thinking about the fucking Scorpion song. The only king of rock is gone to heaven, gone all the way to the sun. And now the king of rock is arrived, a new desire, Yeah. Right. Am I to take his place? Hell no. Yeah. I want to be able to go to the store and buy a beer without anybody bugging me and shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine TMZ following me back in the cocaine days? No. Yeah. Okay. So anyhow and stuff, I went on, I left them because they were weekend warriors. They were a bunch of guys that some had instruments to play. Phil was a jazz drummer out the group. He was the professional musician. Okay. He was the only professional musician in the band, aside from myself, when I first met them. Okay. So I leave. I go down south. It's September. I'm sitting on my great-grandmother's couch, my father's grandmother. And the Richard Pryor show comes on, and I see the Black Death thing. Because I've been trying to think of a name. Because it had the name Black had to be in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not because of color of the skin. My skin ain't black, it's brown. But because of Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
That was such a powerful name. When you say the name Black Sabbath, you know, it's like everybody looks around. Anybody holding their champagne glasses, gotta have your pinky finger stuck out at the proper angle. They turn around and look at you, especially chicks with their hair all up in the butt.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and for him, we was calling ourselves Black Diamond, but you know, well, I was still a Kiss thing there.
Yeah.
I was still holding hope out for them for Kiss to be heavy metal, but you know, they never played Strange Ways live in their whole career after recording that motherfucker. Fuck Kiss. Okay. That was the heaviest song that, you know, it was like they just had like a fucking burlap sack full of nuts and bolts. Dude, and just dragging it across the guitars and shit to get that
Yeah.
distorted sound. I mean, if his Sabbath was to go commercial, and everybody cop up in one of strange ways.
But then, so you know, you came up with the name Black Death,
and I came
off
back.
of Richard Pryor.
Right.
Okay. So that came. Okay. I thought for some reason I thought that he was influenced to do that skit by you guys.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been good. But, you know.
I wish, but I did. Death was the last thing I was thinking, and I was running kind through all kind of Black Lily, Black this or that, but nothing matched up to Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Now you can say Black Sabbath, and you can come back and answer them Black Death. You know, okay,
Yeah.
and they match each other. You know, it's like, okay, mate, carry on, you two. Okay, go our separate ways. Black Sabbath, Black Widow. You know what you do? You step on a spider, right?
Yeah.
Try it again, might get another name. So, but anyways, so I'm again still you, and then I came back. Oh, by the way, I believe I was the first heavy metal hair metal band guitar player.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had my weave back in '78, and '77 I got to come back in '78. My hair all big and shit. Now, my friends, because they wasn't into the music and rock scene and shit, they thought it was, oh, he went down south.
Yeah.
But Squeaky, he knew and shit, because that was the look. He had the long hair and shit. You know, and I was trying to get that Paul Stanley fro, you know.
But then, so the band, you get the band together and you settle on the name. Then when did you start, like, when did things start, like, really making that name so everybody, you know, the name got out there for everybody?
Good question.
And, like, what was, you know, and I don't want to...
variety of answers for that.
Probably playing live, wouldn't it be? Live shows?
Partly that, and then the radio station. Because the first song, friend of ours we had managing us, Bob Sargent, he was a DJ, WCSB. What's up, Bob Sargent? Bob's World. No, fuck it. Golf God. But anyways, this shit. Try suing me over that, Michael Myers. But anyways, him, Bill Peters, Joe Mack, what's my girl and stuff, because she used to play a lot of punk and thrashy hardcore.
So you got on the college radio stations, and that helped get you out. But back then, what was it like, you know, getting into clubs to play live and stuff?
First club we played, I'd say the first year and a half we were playing out, it was like our first show at Charlie's Tavern on St. Clair, somewhere down there by 40th or something. And one of Greg's friends got us the gig. A friend of his father just passed away and gave him the bar at Charlie's Tavern. So he was trying to run it, and he was going to try to like have live acts there. So we played there, and that was, I got to say, even to this day, even though we done played in front of like real large audiences and shit, no walking style shit, but filling up the Beachland or the fucking Agora or some shit like that,
Yeah.
playing that size crowds. Nothing tops that first show we did, because the first show we did, after every song, this is the first, you got to understand, those people, if you were there at Charlie's Tavern back in 1978, I believe it was, you were privy and privileged to see Black Death's first, when we first hit the scene, when we first laid down the foundation for Cleveland metal. Because after every song, and we played like about maybe 9 or 12 songs.
Right.
Some of them was like 11, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We played.
Yeah.
Okay. After each song, I shit you not, it was like the audience was in shock. Like they didn't know what the fuck they had just saw.
Yeah.
It was like, I shit you not, practically a 60-second delay before all of a sudden everybody breaks out in sheer pandemonium and excess. How did this shit get on?
Yeah.
'Cause at first-
they get their breath back. You knock the wind out of them.
Yeah.
They finally get their. They're like, woo.
And then we do the next song, and it's the same thing. And it was like that. It was like that for like about a year and a half, I'd say. Snake Rock was responsible for getting us out there.
Name, yeah.
Right on, Snake! Golf God! Okay. So anyway.
That has a ring to it.
Yeah.
It's in your minds. Okay, but anyway, seriously. Snake Rock, he got us a couple years to play with him. We played him in some place called Charlie's Tavern or some shit. Not Charlie's Tavern, but the Forbidden Apple or some shit downtown.
Okay.
It was like a 3-tier club. Downstairs, bar, restaurant, and little stage. Second floor was disco, because they had those, those glass blocks, and they had the lights underneath, and you can dance on the top and shit.
Nice.
Word to the warning: if you're ever on stage playing and they have glass blocks, colored glass blocks on the stage, if you use a fog machine, be very careful. Nobody told me, and I slipped like a motherfucker. Hell yeah. But everybody thought it was part of that because I caught my balance and shit.
Yeah.
Whoa! I was Spider-Man before Spider-Man. Matter of fact, they probably got that from me.
So then you breaking into the scene and stuff. I mean, was it was basically like, friends or somebody that knew you, giving you opportunities at the beginning, but when you started getting into the regular concert venues in the Cleveland area, the Fantasy was around back then, right?
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So when did it get to the point where you guys?
Well, Bill Peters and Bob Sargent, they were like kind of responsible for getting us those gigs and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then people would ask for us and stuff.
Okay.
Because we used to fill the Agora up, the old Agora and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when they opened the new Agora, they had us, my bro from Breaker, Jim Haymar's band. He had left Breaker and was debuting his band, with the keyboard and guitar, rainbow style type of deal.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but we headlined that when they opened the new Agora right there on 55th and shit. Us and some other Cleveland metal bands.
And what was the scene like back then? How would you describe
the scene was a lot better than it is now, I can tell you.
Would you say there was more unity and all the metal bands kind of coming together, or was there still that rivalries and the cliques?
Oh, it was you still had your rivalries and your cliques, but the rivalry thing, I think it was more from the fans than the actual bands themselves.
Yeah, that
You
seems to
know,
always be the case a lot.
yeah, like my preference of what I like is better than your preference of what you like.
Yeah.
That type of thing. As far as the bands themselves go, Destructor, Matt Flammable, fucking Dave, Just, and Pat Rabbit in the game. The first and only Cleveland metal band aside from Cerebus, but they were the first to reach out to us to like fellowship.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead of breaking bread, crack a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hang out. Hey man, some of the other bands, they were a bit, I don't know, because we had a kind of like an intimidating presence too.
Okay.
Back then, because them blokes, they was all 6 feet and stuff. I was the shortest one in the band and shit.
Yeah.
We come to do a show. It was like I was the manager leading some wrestlers to the
stage. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, which would be a good gimmick for a WWE or a wrestling faction.
Yeah.
For big monstrous black guys, muscle bound motherfuckers and shit.
Like Doom.
Dressed like the Road Warriors and shit. And call them Black Death.
Yeah.
Pure genius.
But
and then I get musical rights.
They start bringing you, so these guys are like, hey, come play with us. We want some fellowship. I mean,
just hanging out at the clubs.
Okay.
Not at the clubs, but at their practice spot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're the only band that had done that, aside from Cerebus.
Okay.
That was Sandy Kruger's band.
And that's how you build the relationships and the networking to go on forward. Now, I have to ask how the times were back then, but I mean, do you think like race played a role in a lot of things with
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure, of course it did. But I can honestly say that we were never treated that way. I'll put it this way. We were playing at the Deputy Dog Saloon, West 25th, next to that car joint, right?
Okay.
And the thing about that, we weren't supposed to have been playing there, but the club announced that we were going to be playing there anyway because we drew large crowds and shit, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then, Black Death Day canceled on us, but in the meantime, they didn't even hire the fucking, because we thought we were going to be in the studio. But then when we saw that they had went and printed it in the scene anyway that we were going to be there, you should have saw the look on the Deputy Dog Saloon's managers and people when we showed up.
Yeah. So he was trying to pull a fast one and capitalize on your notoriety.
Exactly.
Having to pay you for it.
So we stand outside in front of the club, right? Okay. Me and Greg and little Greg Hicks. He was the bass player at Cerebus, but he was in Black Death too. And this fella comes out, and this chick walks past and shit, dark skinned chick, Hebrew chick, and slim. And at the time, I didn't know that's what a strawberry looked like.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know about that. Yes, I was an innocent virgin then. Okay. So he says, I shit in on. He says, look at that nigger. Yeah. He said, look at that nigger.
The guy that owned the club.
No. This is some bloke that came to see us play.
Wow.
He came to see us play.
So he came to see you play knowing who the band is.
But in his eyes, because Greg said, what the fuck, man? She black like us. He said, I shit you not. And if you're watching this podcast, motherfucker who said that, please, in the description box below, please say something. He said, you guys ain't black. You like us.
Because you were metalheads?
Right.
That's what made it. Wow. Well, one thing I've noticed though, you know, is like the metal community, and I mean,
Right.
aren't it? People don't say ignorant stuff like that as much that I see anymore in the metal community. You know, the metal community's always been welcoming of all.
I know.
You know, and it's just like we're here for the music. We're all fans.
Yeah.
And we're all.
But you got to look at the time and the era
Look at the
back
time.
then.
Yeah.
We were recording the album.
And who knows how things are today, because it seems like that gets amped up so much.
Oh man, that's because the powers that be, they trying to divide and conquer. And how do you divide? Put people together against each other.
Yeah, why they're robbing us blind. You know,
yeah. You know,
that's another episode we're gonna have you back.
Oh hell yeah! Because when I started going over my friends' houses and my bandmates' houses, you know, what I've been led to believe, you know, white people live rich and opulently. Shit, these motherfuckers had clothes and everything and shit. You know, pretty much like
Yeah.
I
mean, the bunker. I'm sorry, my maid couldn't make it.
No, this is cool. This is like a museum. You can look at every piece, even the way those pencils are set in the fucking thing. You can come down here and, matter of fact, Squeaky told me that. He said, you know what, see, when you ain't there, I bet your people go up in your bedroom and they just look around at everything because this shit look just like a museum. You know, it's like you stepping in somebody's, like when I had to go do a repair in my friend's apartment building, in one of the tenants' apartment, and you see how their personal things, how they live, how they set up. And shit. Or you come there after they leave and shit, and motherfuckers and trash the place. You know, sure, you give me a job to do, but goddamn, motherfuckers. Okay.
Yeah.
Some jobs I could have did without cleaning up your shit, you know.
So, you know, back to Black Death as you know, first of all, what ended up happening that night when you guys actually showed up? Did you get to play, or
no?
It was just like, but you did, you know, did he with the guy like, all right, here's some money, sorry, advertise you.
Yeah,
you know?
Matter of fact, did we play? I think we might have still play.
Like even just set up out in the front, you know. And,
no, we still plugged up on stage.
Some Uncle Scratch style.
We didn't have no fucking. We had a shitty ass microphone that because Cerebus, he was letting, that was fucked up, and they should have took that as an insult.
Yeah.
That they weren't, the club didn't consider them good enough to hire a proper sound engineer like they would have done for us, or a Breaker, or one of Juan Ricardo's band. What was the band he was in right there at that time? Because we did a show with them before. Fuck, he's got so many bands. It'll come to me later on.
Yeah.
Now back to the ranch at the other show though.
Yeah.
The first show.
The Charlie.
Which is is better than any show we ever done.
Right.
And even with the new lineups I've had. Even playing out of town. Because how many motherfucking people can say that they first show, they had a all-out barroom brawl saloon fight going on while they were playing.
Nice. So like the Pied Piper, you got them all amped up.
And it all jumped off because some little skinny, dusty little bloke and shit was down there in the bathroom calling us the N-word and all this other shit. And there was some other blokes down there, heard him saying that shit, and checked his ass.
Yeah.
And then the guy was him, and then they got into a thing, and the shit carried up the steps and into the, hey, what you doing jumping on my guy? And then there's just, and a whole melee broke out.
Country, like the the ending of Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles, when they're fighting in all the.
Yeah. Or even better, the Wild Wild West. With Jim Gordon. Yeah. Except I wasn't trying to dive on shit. We were playing. Now, these two fellas were fighting. Just like out of one of them scenes, like the Mel Brooks thing, and it looked like that cowboy fighting.
Yeah.
They bumped up into my amp, and my amp was about to fall over. They both stopped fighting, and both on either side stopped their amp and set it back up straight. Sorry, man. And then,
nice.
I went to the fucking bar because they kept feeding us pitchers of beer and shit. And I was try to chug. It seemed like a great idea at the time, and I thought I could do it and stuff. Maybe if I think I hadn't properly prepared myself before, I hadn't inhaled or exhaled out enough. But long story short, I guzzled until it started, and I'm like, yeah, like I see motherfuckers do this,
Yeah.
And then I took the fucking picture, and I just meant to slam it down.
And it shattered.
In the smithereens and shit, And I'm like,
so that was like rock star.
Yeah. And motherfuckers, they saw that and then they stopped fighting and shit.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of settled down and shit.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That was fucking amazing. Oh, and the thing, and we got our first payment for that show was 99 Black Beauties. And what's that? 2 grams of coke.
Okay.
Cocaine.
All right.
I think it was the first time I tried cocaine, I believe. It was in the back in the dressing room. Fat lines and shit. So that's probably another thing. Maybe I should have especially watching everybody else fight and shit.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what to expect. We did not know how we would be taken. Because prior to that, we've done a couple of picnics. We played some clubs on the east side that doesn't, I won't say usually, but doesn't cater to to metal.
Yeah.
Right? But that influence and that charisma.
Yeah.
Say, bud.
Nice.
And it was a gong show thing too. So anyways and shit. I never lost a gong show except for one. And that was because the owner, the native son, he rigged it because this chick it was Bones, he was trying to jump.
Yeah.
He was like, you know how we guys do to try to, hey, baby, here,
Yeah.
do this for you here. When a ring, I can give you no goddamn ring. Fuck that. I'm not trying to move it with you. Okay, so anyways and shit, that was great. I think we did get some money. We might have got $65 or $75 cash or whatever. And I think they charged me $25 goddamn dollars or $35 for that beer pitcher though.
All right. But as time went on with Black Death, you guys started getting bigger, and you said you have when you did play shows out of Cleveland area too.
Well, I never played out of Cleveland with those guys.
Oh no.
No, we never always Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. I wish we could have. But nobody knew anything about this. I didn't.
Yeah.
The only thing we knew was to play and make the music. Now, as far as and trying to get a manager, we were letting Bob Surgett and Bill Peters were like our de facto managers, and they were like real fans of the band.
Yeah.
See, that was the thing. It was Black Death allows a lot of its recognition.
Yeah.
And what I mean by recognition, having physical items, albums, CDs, that type of thing, because of our fans. Because it was our fans who said, well, wait a minute. Like Bill Peters, he worked at Warner Electro Atlantic Records, and he brought 2 representatives down, right? One from Atlantic, one from a chick from Elektra. Because that band, they just first come to America, did the first show at the old Cleveland Agora, and we opened up for them. Anvil.
Oh, okay.
That's when they had 2 guitar players.
All right.
Now, that night, I don't know if you could attribute that so much to racism or just a band envy or jealousy. Because it was such a me thing, a special night where I should have just treated it like another show.
Yeah.
One thing I did that I normally never did was leave my guitar unattended. But I didn't have a backup guitar to stand in front of my amp. Because we were like, this was the first time we played the main stage. We played the main stage again after, but this was the first time.
Okay.
And somebody had went and I meticulously before every show, we would tune up in the dressing room, and I would help the other fellas tune up their instruments. And don't leave it like that. So when we get on stage, everybody's in tune. But me trying to play Don Kirshner's Rockstar, my amp is over here, but you couldn't see it, and it'd take too much for me and Randy to try to hold the amp up, and he couldn't hold it. And shit. He's got to host the show. Couldn't have him hold the motherfucker up the speaker, and then just for me to hold this in front. So just imagine this is leaning in front of a stack of Marshalls. We got the green screen behind us. Do we have to break that out?
No.
Okay. No, I was talking to them.
Oh, all right.
Okay. We ain't doing shit.
Yeah, no.
So we go to hit the first chord because back then the opening song was Black Death.
Okay.
You know, everybody wanted to be Not in the Living Death, which eventually later on, decades down the line, it did. But it was Black Death because it comes in with that ba 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 ba. You know, it's kind of like heavy metal. I mean, Black Sabbath could have did that song. It could have been on that first Black Sabbath album. Okay. It didn't have the special effects like I wanted at the beginning, like the wind blowing. Like they had it like on that Black Sabbath album and shit.
But somebody messed with.
Yeah, they fucking untuned my fucking machine heads. So I go to hit the first chord of Black, it's all out of tune. I'm like, oh my God. You know, so we went on through the song where I might have stopped it. You know, because they tuned it's like they just turning up real hot. So I had to tune them back down real quick, blah, blah. Long story short, they probably looked unprofessional, and they probably turned the lady from Elektra and other bloke from Atlantic Records off. So Bill Peters took it upon himself to create his own record label, Orban Records.
Right.
So not just Black Death, but bands like Breaker, Shot Pryors, and on could, you know, get their music out there. You know, well, if the big labels won't touch you, well, fuck it, damn it.
We'll start our own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And we were the flagship band. We were like what Kiss was to Casablanca.
Nice.
And then the dumb shit happened.
Yeah. So let's talk about, get a little bit into the dumb shit before the break.
Well, I'll be honest with you about it. It's like this. Bottom line, what it was, I was beginning to assert more authority because someone needed to do it. And then everyone, I mean, a lot of people thought I was just Black Death because we would get invited to do things like this right now, interviews or whatever, radio stations or whatever, a function, and I'm the only one that shows up. And in the beginning, they went to a couple of them, but you know, they said, "Oh, sorry, bro, you go. You do most of the talking anyway. You go." One was trying to get a little, you know, booty calls, and some wanted to go out to the clubs and party. Whatever they wanted to do, they didn't. Okay, so I went and took it upon myself. And you know me, stick a mic in front of me and it's on. Okay. Easiest way to lose yourself. Hi, I'm Siki Spacek. Welcome to hell. WBDK, the Black Death Radio. Okay. Yeah, I thought about it if I could do that. Well, you can start your own radio station.
Yeah, nowadays. Yeah, the internet one. There you go.
Yeah.
I think our buddy Dom can help you make that happen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Not from Sharp Pryors.
No, Dominic, who'd been.
Oh, Dominic.
Yeah,
you call him Don. I thought you said Don.
No.
I thought you said Don for fucking outbreak. So, the album was coming out. Matter of fact, it came out, it was released across seas first in Europe. Halloween 1984. That's why all our records we try to release around Halloween, right?
All right.
And I forgot to bring a couple of the 3-album disc that came out, and then quarantine, everything shut down, nothing happening, so I didn't fucking make it to go to the West Coast. And my manager, Dennis Dredd, which we'll get to him later on in the combo.
Yeah.
He had put that out as something temporary until the album that we're working on now, Breaking the Chains of Hell, until I get that finished and ready to come out and shit.
Okay.
So it's like giving the fans something. And that album, it's got everything. It's got all the other Black Death demos that didn't make it to any other recordings. We even have the demo, the original demo for the original second Black Death album that never got released.
Mm.
You know, and it had some bits more, some thrash elements in it.
And, you know, well, I don't want to get too far ahead, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what prevented a lot of that stuff from getting released and getting out now that, you know, I mean, Bill was willing to help you guys out? Is this, you still got the demos, but were they?
Well, right when the album came out, that's when January 1st, New Year's Day, I had summoned a group meeting for that day. So before we go any further, everybody understand just what everybody's positions were, and what financial cuts or benefits would be. Okay. And I mean, because I explained to them, I said, listen, if I wasn't a singer, we had a vocalist, then we'd be splitting this shit 5 ways, right?
Yeah.
And I'm writing all the songs. So I say, well, fuck. The 3 of you take 2/3 and split it, and I'll take 1/3.
You're writing, you're singing, and you're hitting all the promotions.
Yeah, writing all the music and arrangement, and I'm the front man.
Yeah,
you know, but
you're doing the work.
Yeah,
get the name out there, and they're just showing up and playing.
Yeah,
right.
You call it black. You slap a label on something, call it Black Death. But if I'm not there, it ain't happening.
All right.
Like the other guitar player, Greg Hicks and stuff, which was one of the concerns I had with the old classic label lineup, was his playing. He was bluesier playing. He didn't take his guitar playing as serious as I did, or like a shredder would.
Yeah.
And I felt his playing limited to what we could do, because some of the songs I had in line up next for us to do, I knew he couldn't play, because some of the same ones, the ones that we did do, and even ones some we recorded, he couldn't play the guitar parts, like, you know, right where I had to play it. Okay. And then you just come and play live. But for the record, most part, just like if you ever heard the first song on the Black Death record, Night of the Living Death.
Okay.
At the end, the last guitar solos.
All right. Yeah.
You hear him play. And then you hear that blank space, and then you hear me, ah! And then it goes back to the chorus. Well, that was supposed to be my guitar part in there.
Okay.
It wasn't in there because I didn't have my ass in there for the final mix down. And that first guitar you heard was him. Okay. And live he could play, but on record, the tape don't lie. It exposes a lot of things that you could get away with live, because it's the spur of the moment. Oops, hit a wrong note. Good thing I got distortion.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And listen, he's a great guy, beautiful person, all that and shit. But I was about the music.
Yeah.
And as I was learning this, because I would give him my same books that I was reading, you know.
Yeah. Get, catch up, get on.
Right, yeah. And so we could learn together at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and he wasn't doing nothing with it. You don't tell me because I'm gonna listen to you.
So what ended up happening that then the band stopped, went on
Well, I put
and
my
you weren't
friend-
able to.
I put another bass player. I replaced the bass player,
All right.
Dale Harris, with my friend Richard Smith, who I felt should have been in Black Death from the beginning, because he was a year or something behind me in high school. You know, we were high schoolers and shit.
Yeah.
And these grown adult guys, right? And but see, Rick, we all went to school with them blokes and them chicks. They looked so young, even in high school. They looked like they should have been in elementary school or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, they look like, oh, sorry, Tom, I can't do it. You look too much like a kid to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that type, right? And
they didn't like you replacing the bass player.
No, they didn't.
That was like because they were already kind of their own.
Well, he didn't show up,
got him, right?
And since he didn't show up, then I said, okay, well, he didn't show up, and he said something about my attitude or whatever or some shit. And I said, well, fuck that. He's out. Rick is going to be playing bass. Okay. Because before I was just bringing Rick there to say, like, to use like as leverage. He's back, and they turned him down because he looked so young. And we was playing in clubs. Now, I was getting away with it. They said, well, you get away with it because you don't look your age.
Yeah.
And I pretty much look the same now that I did then and shit. Except for this right here.
Yeah.
But other than that, I look the same and shit. And the gray hair.
But then that was like, that was it. They were like, well, then if he's out, we're out or something?
No, we continued with Rick.
Okay.
And then, because he worked at the bank, he just came back home from the military because he was serving in South Korea.
Okay.
He said, I'm either joining Black Death or I'm joining the Army.
All right.
So he joined the Army. And then he came back and he still wanted. And that's what was fucked up. Because practically all them songs on the fucking record, I worked out all of the arrangements and everything with him. With him before I brought it to the band.
Okay.
Because we didn't have no bass player, and the bass player was dead, Claiborne Pinkins. He got shot right, when this happened to him? Right after I came back home. I think about 1978.
Okay.
So now he gets shot, but he was into some other things, because he was the guy with the party favors bringing him to the...
Okay.
Right. Because understand, these guys, they've been to Vietnam. They were older heads than me, and they were already doing their thing. It was like, again, like I said, weekend warriors. They were partying.
Yeah.
Music was just an excuse to get together.
Yeah, to get out and party more. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Phil wanted to do it serious.
Yeah. All right.
Phil... I never wanted him to leave. He left on his own.
Right. But then, going back to the stuff that you had demoed and should have got released, what kept it from ever getting released? What held it up? Or what's still holding it up?
The album that just came out. The Black Death album just came out.
Okay.
84. Right. We recorded them demos before then.
Oh, okay.
Now, the second Black Death record that was never released, the demo of that.
The second one, yeah.
That was with a different lineup after them. That was with Vinny.
Okay.
The guitar player of Black Death Resurrected, who just passed away 4 years ago from the cancer and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years. He passed away in March, didn't he?
Yeah, and his guitar playing was exactly
what I needed.
What he needed. Yeah.
And then, but even more better than him was Squeaky. but Squeaky suffered from stage fright. But when you do something like that, it's like if you want to be a professional football player, you got to really want to do it. You got to have that burning desire. You got to go beyond just playing for yourself or playing for your friend.
You got to face your fear, and step in there. I suffer from like anxiety, bad anxiety and PTSD and stuff. And I do, this is me facing my fear. This is my therapy when I do these things.
You do this?
To help me, I still couldn't get up on stage in front of live people, that shit my pants or something, but.
Oh, I had no problem with that. Hi! God! Okay.
But I've always, I've always admired, the musicians that have been able to do that. But anyway, so Black Death Resurrected, why couldn't you keep the name Black Death then?
Why couldn't I keep the name Black Death?
Yeah, why didn't, when you came back?
I do have the name Black Death. Okay. Well, but that's because Greg Hicks, he had a Black Death. I tried to get him to hook up with me and Titus, he's a Filipino drummer.
Okay.
And a bloke who I wanted to play bass with me, Phil and Greg back in the day from the beginning, but he was playing in one of them bar bands and cover bands, and they was making good money. Yeah. And a lot of musicians, they look at it, money, how much you make, how much you get paid.
Yeah.
They ain't like building something organically.
Yeah.
And, like artists together, this is us. Because no matter who write the songs, it's everybody playing that song and putting their contribution and their 2 cents in.
Yeah.
That makes it, gives it that particular version of the song its character.
Yeah.
Just like on the Settler Charm. Okay, 7. That's one of the songs that's part of one of the songs that's coming on the next Black Death record.
Okay.
And I told him that before. Yeah. Okay, we even used it. But anyways and shit, it's got other parts to go with the Black Death version. Yeah, it's got other movements and parts to go with it. But the part that we needed for his poetry, and he has some hella fire poetry. I've got some of the original shit at home too. That's right, motherfucker. I got an archive. But he got some of my guitars and shit.
Now, how did he get the name then? He had another Black Death, or
he had his own band called Black Death.
Okay, and
Sandy Kruger was the vocalist.
Right. Okay,
and
so they trademarked it or something before.
They tried to, but they couldn't.
Okay, who came first though? You guys or the other Black Death? Yeah. Okay.
Always it was Black Death, and then everybody that was playing with me, they was concerned. Well, can we use that name? We don't want to, like they was, like it was some holy relic that they didn't want to blaspheme against. It was the fuck you talking about? Just like some of my lighter skinned brethren who want to play in the band and shit, it's supposed to be all black, man. I don't want to, what the fuck? You think the crowd gonna lynch you because you ain't black?
Yeah.
Right, that's what, but they treated it with. On the one hand, it was kind of flattering in a sense. It tickled the ego a little bit until reality slapped back in like, motherfucker, what the fuck,
Yeah.
It's the band, it's the music. It was never, Black Death was never originally in the beginning meant to be. Our thing was to be the first heavy metal band in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And it turns out Cleveland and Ohio. Okay. And then it was brought to our attention about the, only band. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't come into it about that.
No, we came in about it.
It's usually like that anyway.
Yeah.
The liberal, never mind. I
don't want to get into goddamn whiny commie Pico, Illuminati bootlicking motherfucking.
Yeah. And
that's for the next show.
Yeah, that's for the next show. But But so when you came back, Black Death Resurrected was just you added the Resurrected just to avoid.
I did to appease the other guys in the band.
Okay.
I wanted to use the name Black Death.
Okay.
Okay, but they felt more comfortable. Why don't we? So that's how the Iron Messiah band came about.
Okay.
And we go to play Pittsburgh. It's Iron Messiah, right? Because see, I never played out of town until I formed Black Death Resurrected. The old Black Death, we never got a chance to play out of town. We got an offer after the album came out. We got an offer to come down to Kentucky to play, but Bill Peters told us about it, but nobody knew who the fuck is this, and nobody knew the ropes.
Okay.
About that aspect of it. Okay. So later on, Iron Messiah, since they Black Death and Greg, he got his Black Death. I was telling them, well, let's just call it Black Death Resurrected. Because this is a resurrection of sorts.
Yeah.
For
it's
me
a new
coming
lineup
back.
and
new lineup.
Too,
and me coming out, stepping out of the cloud, out of the fog, out of the cocaine wars and shit.
Yeah.
And the strawberry fields, that was a tricky one.
Now, did the whole name thing? Is that what held the second album from coming out? Or what held the second album?
The second album
being put out.
Well, that one, the unreleased one, what kept that from coming out is that lineup broke up. The drummer who I had at that time, Mr. Wizard, thought he could usurp me.
Okay.
So
like he claimed ownership of it and wasn't going to
No, he didn't gain no ownership of shit.
No,
he wanted to try to take over the band, and they wanted to call themselves something else. We don't want to be Black Death no more. We want to blah, blah, do this and that.
Yeah, I mean...
Because I was getting all the attention.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, why, what held it from... What's holding it from ever being put out? Like printed and put out.
What that
second? Yeah, that second.
It's on the album now on the triple disc.
Oh, it is out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on the triple disc. But what prevented it back then? Because Bill Peters was waiting for it. Okay. And but then Stanley, Mr. Wizard, pulls this nonsense.
Okay.
He did the same thing when he was playing with me and Rick. My bro that got out the service I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And he did that to us. We used to rehearse downtown at this old Central Market. Purgatory used to rehearse up there.
Oh, yeah. I'm good friends with Jeff.
Yeah. Well, shit, you might know my brother, Mike. He went to school with him all at Wiztech and shit. Okay. And the drummer or the singer, bass player, one of them, any motherfucking ways and shit. Because Rick, he worked right downtown at the bank. Oh, he's good with numbers and shit. Any fucking ways and shit. We come there to go to practice. We see all this graffiti painted on the wall. Smiley faces with the tongue out like, sticking their tongue out like you and shit.
Yeah, it was kind of your stage thing too that you do though, right?
Yeah, I do that on stage. I was doing that before Kiss, because I read about it in them old Inquirer magazines, newspapers, and they had a little medical section.
Okay,
you could try this to keep your chin up, to keep that right.
So, the double chin.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to start practicing that, man. Well, gravity's taking over now.
Like the hand acupuncture. If you got a headache, you can touch yourself somewhere in your palm.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, easier. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So that's where I got that tongue shit, bro.
Okay. But back then, so there was graffiti. You went to the thing.
Right now. So we get upstairs. Me and Rick, they had took their equipment. And they had trashed the place. They didn't fuck up our equipment, but they took their equipment and they just drew that stupid smiley face, all over the walls of the fucking practice spot.
Okay. And that ended up what, getting you in trouble with the practice spot, or?
No, they were gone. They were
done.
leaving their calling card.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That was they're like, we're out of here, and this is our FU to you.
Right.
Basically, okay.
Now, Vinny, he was down there also with his band. They were rehearsing and stuff.
Yeah. So then, obviously, as you guys have told me, now that you with that 3-disc thing, you finally were able to. Who held on to the demo that was able to preserve that? Was that Bill Peters? Oh, Vinny,
because he was playing on it too.
Okay.
Right.
And then he was like, "Hey, man, we still got."
They were the band that played when the Agora opened up, the new Agora.
Yeah.
It wasn't a classic lineup. It was me, Vinny, Mr. Wizard, Stoney on electric guitar. He was one of them solo guys.
Okay, all right.
Arpeggios. And some guy named Doc on bass. Okay. That's who I did that with. It got called Black Death Resurrected because eventually the Black Death Wars came about.
Okay.
We went to go play.
You survived the cocaine wars, and then all of a sudden you had to get into the Black
Right,
Death.
yes.
Yeah.
For a name that I come up with and created. And then Greg Hicks's Black Death, they were nothing more but a glorified tribute act. They didn't do no new material. All they did was play my songs.
Okay. And how, I mean...
my music. That's all the fuck they played. Okay, we go down there to play Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is fucking Iron Messiah. We pull up, see all these people lined up sitting outside of this club. Because I can forget the name of the club, but the description of it is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It had the big glass window. So if you're outside, you can look in the club. You can see the band on stage, but you just seeing their backs.
Yeah.
And everybody inside. Okay, we're going in to load in. These people lined up. These people that can't get in the club. We had a hard time getting in the motherfucker, bringing our equipment in. Because you had to bring it in through the front door. I'm talking about packed. It was almost like that episode of Star Trek where the people was all smushed and they was...
Yeah, okay.
But we played that Bill Peters Beachland Tavern at the food drives.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll play it again this year. No matter the fuck where we play, say Iron Messiah, tell the fucking MC or the announcer that. What the fuck you think they say when they go to the mic? All right, here he is. He's back, everybody. The Iron Messiah, Siki Spacek. This is Black Death. Or, he's back. Siki Spacek and Black Death.
All right.
Or they're back. Black Death with Siki Spacek.
Yep.
But it's advertised in the papers or whatever. Iron Messiah.
Yeah.
They formerly of Black Death.
Okay.
But when we go do the show, Black Death. Okay.
So
I'm like,
so somebody's just holding on to that and not letting you just be able to go back. And
no, wasn't nobody holding on. That's
okay.
Understand. I was only doing. It's always been Black Death to me. When it was Iron Messiah, that was just something I was doing just to put my bass player and drummer's mind at ease.
Okay. So they were concerned. All right.
Right.
Gotcha.
Oh, you gonna get sued, man. Do you own the rights to this and that, right? What the fuck? I don't have to fucking register shit.
Yeah.
I am. Who can be?
Gotcha.
There's only one.
Yeah. Okay. You're like the Highlander.
Right.
Yeah.
You can fucking play I don't give a fuck who play my songs. Can they play them like the way I play them? That makes people like them?
Yeah. So where's everything stand right now? So
this is how it went. And we come right up to that.
All
right. So Bill Peters, he had at Peabody's when they were still downtown before they moved.
Yeah.
and changed into the Agora.
Yeah.
He had the show. It was some type of benefit for UJC, John Kerr University. Because I think you said you might have been there.
Yeah.
Or was you the Yuli show? Michael Shanky Yuli. One of the two. But anyways, Black Death was playing and Black Death Resurrected. They wanted to go on first. Bill Peters wouldn't let them.
No.
Hell no. Hell motherfucking no. You don't get off that easy.
Yeah.
Because if you Black Death, you can go on and play. It don't matter whether you opening or you ending the set. You get the fuck up there and kick ass and play.
Yeah.
Now, if you open the set, and I'm looking out there to you, out there in podcast land, I don't care who the band has been that we played with. Anybody that played after we played, we were a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
And they told us that out of their mouths. Damn, we should open and let you play.
Yeah, or there shouldn't be this name dispute anymore and just whatever, you know?
No, I mean, period, when we play, people say that. Yeah. Okay, now if I were the name dispute, that settled it. They had marshals and all this shit. Understand, I'm coming back from the crack cocaine wars.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of battles.
And I'm playing through some little cheesy bass amp with a distortion pedal.
Okay.
That was my Marshall. Matter of fact, it was a Kent amp. Next motherfucking thing, you know, they come in there, bottom line. And then my voice wasn't the best. It was kind of more husky and hoarser than it is now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I couldn't hit the sweet, pristine high notes back then. I could do it now, though. That's a reverse scream when you breathe in. Yeah. So we played. And then they sent Sandy Kruger to one of our open mic night shows we was doing with Scooter Lincoln, right? And asked us what songs we were going to play and asked us if we could not play certain songs that they was going to play because it's only certain songs that they could play, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, really? I said, okay. But inside my head, I'm like, you got me fucked up. We came out there and did our set. They came there behind us. People walked.
Wow.
So the Black Death Wars ended as quickly as it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on. Oh, and they did try to use the legal shit to try to get me. But the fellas down there at the fucking Hills Headbangers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, chasing the gang and shit. They had my back. They got it where, you know, I can use the name Black Death. And you can't prevent me from playing the songs that I wrote.
Yeah.
While this band. Take me out. There is no Black Death. Gotcha. Leaving the rest of them.
Gotcha.
And
you got your own unique style too with how you play and what you wrote over the years. And I think we were going to lead into a little, because that's why we brought the anthem.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Sorry, let's take a little brief musical break, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that brings us current, right?
Right, yeah.
The timeline, so the story.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, we can get into Illuminati and all that stuff later, but.
Brother, if you please. Could you, golf God! Could you pass my other beer, please?
Let me run off.
And as we do this.
You get ready for the audience. We got it running live. Let me run.
All I got to do is just play. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shit. He's running to take a piss. It won't be long before I'll be going in there after he gets out. Okay. But seriously, everyone. And my faithful companion, the golf god, Randy Roscoe. Golf god! Golf god! This next song I'd like to play for you. This next song I'd like to play for you. It's a song I wrote about this COVID, quarantine, civil rights violations, all this bullshit that's going on. And especially those stupid fucking masks. This is a song I wrote called Comatose. I remember the last time I saw a man in my now they say about quarantine, say I gotta wear a mask. What the hell's happening? What's going on? Tell me how long this will last. Sudden death in the middle of the night, dreaming. They take the needle and they push it in. It's like I'm dying, dying. Oh my God, what can I do? Comatose, 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 mama. Freeman. They take a needle as they push it in, just like I'm dying. Dying! Oh my God! What have I done? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Woo!
Little something like
I
that.
tell you what, you know what? You have been a part of many firsts in the state of Ohio, and this is the very first live performance here in the Boondoggle Bunker.
Oh yeah! Go God! Go God!
Add that to the list now.
Well, thank you.
Thank you,
my
man.
brother.
I'm glad. Like I said, I wanted to try and hook it up, like I do most of my interviews, Skype and stuff. But
Right.
I'm glad that it worked out this way.
Oh yeah, it feels better and stuff. Because I get to sit here and sit, and I can feel like a TV announcer too. How you doing, folks? In today's weather announcements.
And I keep getting weather announcements. I guess we got another storm coming.
Oh
or
hell
whatever, so I don't wanna-
no! God damn it! Just smell it.
Yeah.
No!
So I don't want to keep you guys too much longer before
yeah,
the
right,
roads
yeah.
get
What time
crappy
is
or
it?
whatever. It's 6 o'clock, but
Holy
I
shit!
want to ask you some of the questions that I normally ask artists that I have on
Sure.
before we get ready and wrap up.
Mhm.
Who are your top 3 bands?
Shit. Quite natural, I have to say Black Sabbath,
Yep.
Uli Rolf era Scorpions. Of course, I have to say you limited to 3, and I have to say Priest.
Nice.
Sabbath, Priest. But then now, that's all I knew. That's all I started out with.
Yeah.
And I still hold them in that high regard.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to Saxon lately, and a lot of the fucking metal church, and the fucking singer dies.
No. Wow.
That just fucked me up and shit,
Yeah.
Good band. And especially Dio.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously that was your foundation, but time.
But as
goes
far
on,
as I
and-
like, trying to like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
My top 3, number 1 would be Black Death. 2, yes, shameless self-promotion.
Number 2.
Try it sometime.
Number 2 would be Black Death Resurrected.
Okay.
Number 3
Or
Iron
Iron
Messiah.
Messiah.
Yeah, there we go.
That pretty much
Got
covers
covered.
it all. So I say Black Death and everybody else and shit,
Nice.
And that's only the reason why I say like that. And I tried to purposely not to listen to other artists because I wanted my thing to be
Authentic,
Original.
original,
yeah.
But you've always been a big advocate for the Cleveland metal scene. And
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
too,
without a doubt, man.
So, that's
Without a doubt.
been awesome. Everything that you've done.
It was the fucking Cleveland metal scene that told me. I didn't realize we were really were the first and shit heavy metal band, period.
Yeah.
And I didn't know we were in some bands' eyes. We like kind of opened the door because we did. Because it was bands that were playing but couldn't get out to the clubs to play. They wouldn't let them play.
Okay.
But Snake Rock got us in there because Snake, he had the connection.
Yeah.
Snake Rock. Yeah, Snake Rock. Okay. Gum God. I'm trying to give you a pinch.
Nice.
Plug. Okay. So he got us in there and he opened it up for us to get out there to play.
Yeah.
Okay, because after we did that gig at the place I was talking about with the disco flat floor, and I damn near slipped and broke my neck.
Yeah,
but I was,
you're trying
made
out
it
with
look cool.
gymnastics. Yeah. Nice.
And he got us at the pop shop. And from there, Chris, who used to play with, what was that band he played with? Fuck. Chris used to have a fucking record shop. Chris's Records.
Yeah. Chris Andrews.
Spud Monsters.
The Spud Monsters.
Yeah, Chris Andrews.
Yeah. Good punk band, hardcore shit.
Good dude.
and he got us there.
Okay.
And when he got us there, and then Joe took it from there, and then he got the other bands. The next thing I know, it was Breaker and Shot. I remember Shot Paris. They came down a little later down the line, but Sorcerer. Almost called Juan's band that he was in at the time.
Well,
but anyways.
I'm trying to remember, but let me continue asking some of the
Some more
questions I would
questions?
ask.
Okay.
Is there, and this might be tough too, but is there a go-to song, like one of your favorite go-to songs, like that you feel has been a big inspiration to you, that you can, you can, it never gets old. You can always go back and play it.
Everybody seems to like When Tears Run Red.
Yeah.
That's our Beth.
Okay.
Nice. I woke up one morning and she was gone. I tried to use that sultry jazz singer voice. I woke up one morning, but she was gone. Her cigarette was burning.
Hey,
I grew up on that shit, man.
Yeah.
Dean Martin and all that shit. And
yeah.
Tom Jones, fuck, that was good shit, That's where, like, a lot of my ideas for the metal, the music, it's from that, that, because I heard, like, Peter Gunn, I used to hear that, and I'm like, dum, 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 dum. People think heavy metal is all about loud, distorted guitars. No, it's not. It's a feeling. It's just as much as it's an attitude. It's a feeling. It's a musical where you could play these notes a certain way without distortion and people.
Yeah.
Like that surf guitar motherfucker, Dick Dale.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Argue with me if that ain't heavy metal or not.
I'm with you.
I'll wait.
And then who are three people who've inspired you, or you can credit for making you the person you are today?
The Most High Yahuwah, first off, who protected me, watched over me, and guided me through the life experiences that my 40 years in the desert, so to speak.
Mm.
And if I can name anyone after that, inspire me. Well, after him, it's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
So I guess I just had to say myself.
Yeah.
Insofar as not trying to sound egotistical or nothing like that, but I just put it in my mind. It's just as simple as picking up a fucking bloody book and reading. You want to learn something? You want to know how to do something? Pick up a book.
Yeah.
You want to do something and you really want to do it, you fucking lock that in your mind. You lock that in your heart. Well, your heart is up here. Okay, because this motherfucker don't think, it just pumps blood. But the heart that thinks up here.
Yeah. Well, it's all connected.
Yeah. You got to have that drive and that determination. You got to, shit, I could have been a fucking wrestler and shit. I could have been a lot of motherfucking things to apply my charisma to and shit. Hell, I even use elements of wrestling in my fucking thing when I walk to the stage.
Yeah. Nice.
Like the set is right. You got to bow your elbows like you lift a lot of weights. Because you can't hold your arms straight.
Imaginary lat syndrome.
Yeah. Square the shoulder, put the shoulder pads in.
Nice.
Then when I get in front of the mic, do something. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you see what we've got here. Woo! Is a failure to communicate. You see, it's like this.
That was good.
I'm Slick Ric Siki Spacek, and whether you like it or not, woo! I'm your world heavyweight professional heavy metal champion.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll end today's show.
Yeah.
Okay, but actually, we still had a belt because we did this thing back in '83. This was led up to us doing the album. And for VLP's the green light the album. We played on that Cleveland Metal compilation album, right?
Okay.
And the BBC Rock Hour used to have this contest every year, and we won it for musical styles. It was 7 categories of music. We won for North Coast. It was for the North America, the whole coast. That included Canada too. We won the heavy metal, hard rock and roll category. And then you had your other bands that won the disco, jazz, blah, blah, whatever. Okay. So I got me a TNA belt at home and shit that I slap on my shoulder. So we're still the champs. Because they never had another one after that.
Okay.
It seems like every time Black Death plays a festival or play, when's the last time the Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles Festival was held?
Yeah.
You remember that? Last time they had it was at Cooperstown Sports Bar.
Okay.
We played there.
Okay.
Never happened again. There's a couple other festivals.
You're a jinx.
We never know. Well, tough act to follow.
Well, I might have to reach out to my buddy Dan Jansen, see about if getting you guys on incarceration next year out there at the Mansfield Reformatory.
Oh, the playing some. Fuck yeah, I play for some fucking inmates.
Yeah.
Fuck, I know what it's like to be behind them bars. Are you kidding me and shit?
Well, no, it's
not a prison anymore.
No, it's not. It was where they filmed
now.
Shawshank, but they do a festival there now and stuff.
Oh,
outdoor
it used
live
to be.
festival.
It's the old prison.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
new
yeah.
prisons behind it.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd get a chance. Damn.
I'll say when we connect. Yeah, when we connect, you guys. I'll send some of your music. His
yeah.
Fuck but
yeah.
well,
real quick.
All right.
Before we do the second session, next week we're going to the studio on the 26th and 27th to start the official recordings for the next Black Death record.
Okay. Nice.
So it starts. The madness starts next week. We hope to have it out by Halloween.
All right.
Okay.
It happened.
Even if it's done before Halloween, it ain't coming out till Halloween.
I got 2 more questions for you or 2 more favors to ask before we get ready.
That's all?
To wrap this up.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For any message that you have for our military members currently serving overseas.
Shit. Fuck yeah, dude. Gentlemen, you got a thankless job that you do, and you are not appreciated as much as you should be. And the way our government treats you when you come back home is an atrocity. We would not be who we are without you.
Wow, thank you, man.
There should be no homeless veterans.
Yep.
Motherfucker, you come back from that experience, that life-changing experience, what the fuck you giving some fucking bloke to catch a piece of rubber ball in $1 million? No. You all deserve those $1 million contracts, and that's still not enough. Some of you will have lost your lives of your family, your friends. Not to mention, some of you come back not the way you was when you went in. And you got to live with that for the rest of your life. That's fucked up. And the government doesn't help to do something. But they try to get you to come on in, and you're coming in, you're doing it for the right reasons, for your country and for your fellow American citizens. You're not doing it for the politicians. You're doing it for the everyday man.
That was beautiful. That was passionate.
And that was the truth.
Exactly. That was from the heart. You could tell.
Man.
Now, one last, I've heard your Ric Flairs. I heard your wrestling promos. We're going to end on one more happier note. But it's Siki, 100%. All right? I need a promo ID for the show. You're going to introduce yourself, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Boondoggles.
Boondoggle, yeah.
Okay. You edit these things?
Yeah, I'll edit it.
Okay.
I'll edit it
Right
out.
now we're live though, right?
Yeah, we're live right now. But
Hey, everybody out there. Okay. Hey, can they see us? Really?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Boondoggle. That's the name of it.
Today's Boondoggle.
All right. All right. Listen up. Hold on to your seats. Grab your girls. Grab your beers. Fasten your seatbelts. Because today is going to be a day like any other day, unlike any other day. The days that you've had, today is that day. And you know what that day is? Today is today's Boondoggle. That's right, when heavy metal touches down on the flat earth of Boondoggle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Stay flat, my friends.
And with that, we will wrap it up.
See ya.
Thanks
Golf
for
God,
tuning in.
golf God, golf God. Come on, Randy, say something. Come on.